Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome back to another unboxing. I like doing these unboxing videos whenever I get anything remotely interesting. So yeah, really happy to have this finally. Took me a while to actually get this. I've had this for a while actually, but it's just taken me a bit of time to get the video together and everything. But yeah, this is the NEO GEO Arcade Stick Pro. So I think it was last year, the year before, I lose track of time, the SNK released the NEO GEO Mini, which you've got on the back there, back of the box. And I bought one of those, did an unboxing and everything of it on my channel, so please check that out. I liked the device overall, but obviously the joystick was a bit of a problem. It wasn't the clicky joystick, it was more of just an analog, and they did the same for the control pad accessories that went along with it. It wasn't the clicky thumbsticks, because apparently I think someone questioned them, why didn't they make the clicky thumbsticks, and they said they were too difficult to make or something. So yeah, anyway, opening this box, the NEO GEO Arcade Stick Pro. Get all the peripherals that you can get for this. You've got the silicone wrap covers there, which I've noticed a few people on YouTube who've done unboxings and reviews of this Arcade Stick Pro have actually bought that. Pretty decent. You've got the mini pads there, which yeah, which I've got some of those anyway with the analog stick, like I've just mentioned. It's well packaged, this. Just get that bit of cardboard out. I actually bought this off of eBay. There was a seller that was selling it here in Australia, because I couldn't get it off off any site. None of them would ship this thing to Australia. So I was thinking, oh, I'm going to end up not getting it. But yeah, someone just listed it. It was quite local to me. It was a decent price. I can't remember how much now, but I jumped at the chance, thought, yeah, okay, I can't let that go, and I'll buy it. But here's the instruction leaflet, just telling you a bit about the stick, what the buttons do and everything else. We don't bother with the instructions though, but just, well, I don't generally, but just showing you there what each of the functions do. You've got two different modes there, console mode and joystick mode. Console mode, obviously, it plays the games off of the arcade stick that loaded on there. There's 20 by default Neo Geo games. And you connect it to your telly and you're able to play those. Joystick mode is when you just pretty much use the joystick as a joystick for connected to another console. So you can connect it to the NEO GEO Mini and use it for that, and also to the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, I believe. There's the feet that stick on the bottom, and the little adapter that enables you to connect it to the NEO GEO Mini. I saw something on the NEO Geo forums. I think it was, there's the charging cable for it, or not the charging cable, the AC adapter cable doesn't come with the plug, so you just have to plug that in a suitable plug there. Just having a look at the joystick. I've seen on some Neo Geo forums that some people on there have managed to get this device working on the Neo Geo AES original console, which is really, well, it's great. Okay, so they're the buttons, they all click nicely, and the clicky joystick. So there are the outputs on the back of the controller there. You had the HDMI, the charging socket, and a USB slot to plug in another joypad if you want to play multiplayer, 2-player games on this. Oh no, those are the joystick ports. So yes, the USB on the back would be for updating the games on there and storage, things like that. So I'll explain that later on anyway. Yeah, so some people on forums have managed to connect this to the NEO GEO AES using 2 adapters, I believe. So I might need to get those adapters and check that out. This is an original Neo Geo or SNK Neo Geo CD control pad. As you could see, it had the clicky thumb pad, and there is the version released for the when the Neo Geo Mini came out, and that was just analog. And they also changed the button layout of it. I'm not sure why. There's the buttons on the Arcade Stick Pro: Turbo, Option, Select, Start. And these are the buttons on there to basically put it into joystick mode and console mode. Okay, so we're going to put the little adapter on. So there is the lead that I showed you earlier that was tucked inside the Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro. That plugs into the little adapter, and the adapter goes into the Neo Geo Mini. So we're just going to turn this on. I'm zoomed out quite a bit from this so that you can see the arcade stick working with the Neo Geo Mini, just so you guys can see and check and decide for yourselves whether or not there's any lag or anything like that. But I didn't notice any. It worked pretty decently. No Neo Geo review would be complete without trying one of the classic games on the system, and that is Metal Slug, one of my favourites of all time. Gameplay's probably going to be shit through this, guys, because I'm trying to sort of view this. I've got the camera set up, I'm standing sideways, and yeah, making excuses there, but here we go. So it plays and controls really, really well as a joystick. I will actually attempt to connect this up to the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 at some point. I'm told that you can actually do that. But for this video, I'm just going to stick with the Neo Geo Mini as a test base for this, and then we'll capture some footage through the capture device, the Elgato HD60. This is a classic game. This really is. This is the game that actually always brings back fond memories of when I first saw the Neo Geo system in a little local independent arcade shop just opposite me. I lived in a tower block back then in the UK, and it was a little independent game shop, and they actually had the guy in there had the arcade system, the MVS, in there playing this game, and he also had the home console and cartridges that he was actually selling, importing in, and he was selling for a real ridiculous price. Can't remember off the top of my head how much for, but I just always remember thinking, oh god, how can I get one of these? I really want one of these, and there was just absolutely no way. I could just about afford a Mega Drive game every now and then, but yeah, hundreds and hundreds of pounds for Neo Geo games was just wasn't it wasn't doable, wasn't achievable. But yeah, whenever I see this game, it still it still gives me a good feeling that yeah, that's when games were getting really good in the arcades, in my opinion. Once I start playing the Metal Slug games, I just want to see it right through to the end. Apart from probably number 3, I mean that game dragged on. It's still regarded as one of the best in the series, but I remember the final level. God, that went on for ages. Unless I'm doing something wrong, it really did. That was like several levels in one, but still enjoyable. And I love the whole series of Metal Slug. I do have Metal Slug 1 to 5 on the MVS original arcade cartridges. So that's that level done. We'll probably come out of this now. Here you have the different options. Okay, we're back to the main menu. I never actually upgraded the games on the Neo Geo Mini. I was told or seen videos online that it's actually achievable now, but I've never actually bothered with that. I've just kept it as stock, really. Something I might do in the future. I'm not interested in having other games on there, just want the Neo Geo. So this is another favourite of mine, this game. Fighting Mutants, Mutation Nation. This was always a favourite of mine, but it's only been in the last couple of weeks I've actually managed to get hold of a copy of this for the MVS. So that's in my Neo Geo MVS 4 slot arcade cab at the moment. But yeah, really happy to have it. Got a good deal on it. The label's a bit battered, but I'm not really or particularly bothered about that. So it's really good to have that one. Really decent game. Side-scrolling beat 'em up. Fighting mutants. How can you go wrong with that? So just briefly testing out how this joystick functions with these games is pretty decent. Doesn't seem to be any lag. Let's try King of the Fighters game. Such a shame, wasn't it, with the Neo Geo Mini that they didn't actually have the light up marquee. That would have been brilliant. They're just stickers basically that you put on the top there. But yeah, there's a lot of things they could have done differently with it. The joystick aside, of course, should have made that clicky. That's unforgivable. And the buttons as well, just grey. But yeah, overall I like it. I like having it. Just pretty much sits on my shelf. As you can see there with the control stick, I'm able to do some of the special moves. There we go. Probably not as frequently as I would like. Never been great with joysticks in general. It's only since having my own arcade machines that I've become accustomed to actually using the joysticks. Generally I'm a joypad man. Always had the joypads on consoles, so PlayStation and Xbox, going back further, Mega Drive, things like that. So I was able to do the Dragon Punch, Fireball movements with the joypads, but joysticks I'd struggled with, but I'm okay now with my arcade machines. Good to have the arcade, real arcade hardware in the home. So now we've come away from the Neo Geo Mini, and I've plugged the arcade stick into it's into a capture device, and then capture device into TV, and then another cable goes from the capture device over to my laptop, where I'm able to capture this footage through the Elgato HD60. So there's the manual there. So again, it just tells you all the different modes. Like I said, generally I don't look at the manuals. I'm pretty bad like that, but for the purpose of this video, we'll have a look. We'll go through the options. You've got the different languages there. You can change the screen size. Quality, by default it's on smooth scaling, but you can change it to pixel, transverse, longitudinal. I didn't see what the other one was, but yeah, you've got all those options, headset options, system. You can see what version that's on, and obviously factory reset to reset it back to how you got the stick in the first place from the manufacturer. Love the Neo Geo startup there. That little music, little bit of music for that. Okay, so this King of Fighters 95. I love the King of Fighters games. I have all of these actually on the MVS. I think it goes up to, is it 2003, 2004 from 94, so yeah, a lot of games there, but I completed that little set quite a while ago when the games were reasonably priced. Also have a few of them on the AES as well, I believe. I think 97, 99 and 94. I believe I have on the AES. Probably won't get any more for that system. Can't really justify that. I wanted at least one, but ended up with 3, so that's not too bad. Just going to spam a few fireballs with King. That's a good move. Oh, managed to win that one. I love all the animations on these King of Fighters games. I really do. They're fantastic. I remember when these first came out, people were saying, oh well, yeah, just a rip-off of Street Fighter and all of this. Street Fighter's the best game, and don't get me wrong, I love Street Fighter, but there's so much to these King of Fighters games. There really is. The amount of moves, especially in the later King of Fighters games, the amount going on screen in the backgrounds, as you can see here, there's always something going on. It's just absolutely fantastic. I don't think it's actually fair to compare the two. Let's see if we can at least win this. Doesn't look too good, does it? Oh, she's going to choose a special move now. Come on. It's getting close. Ah, fireball. Ripped her clothes off. Look, her bra is on display for all to see. I remember in some of the censored versions of the games, the versions that we got in Europe, I believe, her top didn't get ripped off, or she had a thicker, it wasn't just down to her bra, from what I remember. But the good old Japanese, they leave all that stuff in. This is another game that's actually become one of my favourites, and I picked this up not too long ago on MVS original cartridge, and this is Ninja Masters. So yeah, love the music on this game, love the style of the graphics and everything. This is actually a one-on-one beat 'em up, which the Neo Geo system was actually famous for. Probably had too many of them, in all fairness, but at least it offered you know, if you didn't like one of the game series, like King of Fighters, for example, you might have liked the Ninja Masters, or if you didn't like that, you might have liked the Samurai Showdown games. So there was a lot of different one-on-one fighters on the system. This one I do quite like, though. I've been playing this quite a bit on the MVS cap of the original cartridge, and yeah, I actually quite like it. Not too familiar with this character though, I must admit. I'm just struggling to do some of his moves here. The character sprites are awesome though, and the backgrounds are brilliant, and the music I think is really fitting towards the setting of the game. Oh, spinning back fist. Got my weapon there, slam him down. Oh, it's got a little fireball going on there. Oh, special flip kick to finish him off. I love the fact all the commentary's in Japanese as well. So I've activated some sort of special mode there, not entirely sure what that does. Nice little throw there. Oh, I love the way when you actually knock the opponent out, the screen goes sort of black and white. I love that effect. Not a lot going on in this background, a few little bits and pieces, but I love the setting of the stage, love the music again. Control stick works absolutely fine with this, and the games I think are emulated really well. Obviously it's emulation because it's not playing on original hardware, even though this is made by SNK, who obviously made the Neo Geo AES and MVS consoles, although from what I believe, there's the black and white effect there, the knockout. From what I've read online, SNK now though, in today's world, is not the same SNK that developed the original systems, so that's unfortunate. I think a lot of company mergers and everything else took place, and yeah, it's a shame really, but it is a different SNK. But yeah, they're releasing a lot of new hardware. So the NEO GEO Mini, this Arcade Stick Pro, and also there's something labelled the NEO GEO 3, I do believe, is coming out. So I'm not sure what that is. I do really wish that they'd release another console similar to the AES with cartridges and stuff and possibly some new games, but I can't see it ever happening. So we're just going through the different options here. So we'll try the pixel scaling, see what that does to the actual in-game graphics. So I'm fighting. Oh, I love that spinning back fist. So I'm fighting this big dude. I love the characters in the game. Like I said, this has become one of my favourite games. I'm not very good at it. I'm not very good at a lot of these beat 'em ups. I think as I've got older, I just struggle memorising the button combinations and the joystick motion movements that you have to perform to carry out these a lot of the special attacks. My memory just can't keep up with it. As I've got older, I could do them all when I was a younger man, but as I've got older, I just can't do it anymore, and I just haven't got the time to dedicate to it. There's a nasty slam down there. Yeah, just haven't got the time to dedicate to it. So when I play it, I class myself as a casual gamer these days. I've got so many games I want to play on the modern era of gaming, so the current generation. Well, not current generation because I don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, because the scalpers have them all. I will get one though, but PlayStation 4 I love playing on still, catching up on the backlog of games that I've got. But at the same time, I like playing. Oh, that was a lovely kick. But at the same time, I love playing these old games, especially in the Neo Geo platforms. But this is, this plays just like the original game, as far as I can see. Obviously, I can't compare every frame of animation and every aspect of the game, but from just casually playing it now, it plays just like the original cartridge. So Neo Geo games, the emulation, I believe they've got down to a T now. It's quite an old system, so there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to emulate them perfectly. But the games play absolutely brilliantly on this. Let's go through the options again, just change over on the quality, the graphics. Last Blade 2, one of my favourites. Still need to get this on the MVS. Have the first one. I'll never be able to get this on the AES, just far too expensive. I cannot justify the cost of that. Again, love the music on this game. Love the graphical representation of it. These little cutscenes, which I've skipped there. Again, this is one I always sort of casually play, but I'm certainly not that great at it. But just because I'm not good at games doesn't mean that I can't enjoy them. I really enjoy these Neo Geo games. I love that little special kick he's got there. Thought I was going to win that. Little palm strikes to the face. Character I'm using, Lee, is the classical character that you would see in the old school martial arts films, but one that springs to mind is the Jet Li series, Once Upon a Time in China, I believe it is, and he plays Wong Fei Hung, and he looks exactly like this character. You know, the hair, the style of dress that he's wearing. It really reminds me of that. I think that's why I picked this character. But Jet Li couldn't do the fireballs, obviously, but he could do everything else. Low sweep kick. Oh, brilliant. Look at that little animation. Still messing around with the quality graphics settings there, just to see what it does. You can see the differences between all of them. Oh, I love this stage. This reminds me of Shogun Assassin, something like that. The enemy character, the hat and the cape. Oh, it turns invisible. That's a bit cheeky. Still got him though. The bicycle kick thing that Lee just did there. And again. A little bit of button mashing going on, but it's all good. Got the crows or ravens, whatever they are, in the background. You can see a flock of them right there in the sky in the background. That's pretty good. Pretty good effect. I love the little bits and pieces that are going on in the background, the little animations. It's fantastic. Oh, love that kick. I like it as well, there's no actual background music on this stage. It's all quiet and you can just hear the birds and the wind and the other bits and pieces. I really like that they've done this on this stage. I'm not sure if they've done that on any other stages, but oh, he got me. He killed me. Okay, let's come out of that, go into another game. We're just trying out several games on this stick. Just see how they play. Just don't want this video dragging on too long because I just get wrapped up in these games and I don't want to turn it off. There's another option there. I have no idea what that is. Some scan lines. Super Tag Battle. I have this one on MVS cartridge. So yeah, as you can see there, the characters Joker and Gordon. I mean, reference is obvious there to Batman. Not really sure how they got away with this, but yeah, this is a strange one. This is a 2-on-2 beat 'em up, and you can tag each other. Joker with his selection of comedic moves there, playing cards and things like that, playing card projectiles. And then when you get in your little square there, you can change to the other, to your teammate if you wish. Let's get the hammer. Bash him with the hammer. Flying top hat. Just change character, so is he. It's the little old man. Again, I've not actually played this game in a long while, so I used to play this quite a bit when I first got this the MVS cartridge. Love the big characters, but that plays really well. Oh, that's a nice little combination there. Not actually entirely sure it was intentional, but still look good. Rush attacks. I love the way that they tag your teammate and jumps on the screen. That's one thing about the Neo Geo consoles. The arcade machine, obviously, which was the same thing, but was the scaling, how this in and out from the background to the foreground. SNK loved using that feature in their games. Probably overused it to a great extent, but it was still good to see. The way that the screen could pan in and out as well was fantastic. I don't know the actual technical terms for it. Is it parallax scrolling or something? I have no idea, but yeah, it's brilliant. Okay, so this is World Heroes Jet. World Heroes, now, yeah, there were obvious comparisons with Street Fighter when these games first came out, and rightfully so. You've got the characters that are the blatant rip-offs of Ken and Ryu, or Ryu, whatever you want to call him, the Bison character there, as you can see, or was he called Balrog in the original version, and then they changed his name because they didn't want the boxer to be M. Bison, Mike Tyson. But yeah, he's looks pretty similar to that character in Street Fighter games. But yeah, I quite like these World Heroes games. They're not my favourite. See what I mean there? The background to the foreground, really good effect. Looks great. Yeah, not my favourite series of games, but I still like playing them every now and then. Just going to cheese a few moves here with this character. Oh, that was a good little combination. Can I cheese this one? Oh, yes I did. It's a good combination though. That's one thing, these SNK games, Neo Geo games in general, literally the playing against the arcade opponents on the computer, I find really difficult. I know there's a pattern to doing it, and a lot of people online post videos of them, you know, completing these games with 1 credit, but so difficult. Sometimes to the point where it just takes all the enjoyment out of it for me, but I guess they had to make them challenging, seeing as they were arcade games and designed to take the players' money. These games are always better in the 2-player modes against another human opponent. That's where they're at their most fun. No Neo Geo gameplay video is complete without a Samurai Showdown or Samurai Spirits gameplay. This is another game along with Metal Slug that I associate, you know, whenever I associate with Neo Geo, because this was again one of the first games that I saw in the arcades, in that little independent arcade back in the 90s. It was this and Metal Slug. I remember seeing the cartridge thinking, oh, I want that cartridge, and it was like a couple of £100 or whatever, maybe even more than that, from this little rip-off independent shop. He was importing them and he was selling them. I don't even know how many he was selling, or if he was even selling any of them. Would have probably been, well, would have been to adults, not kids. Just couldn't afford it. The parents certainly wouldn't have bought it for them. But yeah, I remember seeing it thinking, oh, I want that. And then years and years and years later, when I bought the Neo Geo AES home console, this was the first cartridge I bought with it. And even now, when I pick that cartridge up, and the case and the manual and the smell it's got to it, you collectors out there will know what I'm talking about. It's got that strange smell to it. It's just fantastic. And to think that, yeah, it took me all those years to get it, but I had to get that. I've actually got Samurai Showdown or Samurai Spirits, because I've got the Japanese versions, 1 to 3. Really lucky to have those. I still probably will get number 4 and then call it a day there for the AES console. 5 gets too expensive. For the MVS I've got 1 to 5, I just need 5 special. That is expensive as well, but as I keep going on about in my videos, I really want to get a copy of that, so I probably will spend, I think currently it's 1,000 to 1,500 Australian dollars for that one, so I probably will get that, just because it's my favourite series on the system. We've got this little goblin guy, Genan, I don't know how to pronounce it. Love the little background of this. Look, you've got the little, well, I'd say little, it's the massive cauldron there where they're boiling the bodies. You've got the human skulls there. It's quite dark actually. So I know where my fate lies should I lose this battle. I'm going to be in that little hot pot. Got the guy there chucking the food items, in this case a roast turkey, on the screen. Didn't do me any good though, because I was already dead. Here I'm just messing around with the graphics settings again. And this is obviously the game I just spoke about. Samurai Spirits Special. Or Samurai Spirits 5. Samurai Showdown 5 Special. And like I said, this goes for a fortune on the AES console. It's just not even achievable. It goes for thousands upon thousands. The MVS cartridge becoming more and more expensive. I wish I'd bought it a year or so ago. Could have got it for half the price that it is now. But yeah, the whole pandemic that's going on in the world right now is caused the inflated prices on retro games for some reason. Probably other things as well. But follow, but certainly the retro games, pinball machines as well, here in Australia, they've just skyrocketed due to the whole COVID thing. But I love this game, it's fantastic. Just always loved the weapon-based games. The 3D ones, one that comes to mind is Soul Edge on the PlayStation. So I've actually got the arcade PCB of that game. Had to get that. It's one of my favourite games of all time. Weapon-based, brilliant. Soul Calibur games. Just love the animations on these characters, the way they draw the weapons out of the sheaths and literally unleash all the devastating moves and attacks, all the other characters that sort of come on and join them after the match. It's just brilliant. The way it zooms into the screen as well and the start of the match. I love that. Zooms in and out constantly, actually, just looking at this. Oh, it's devastating special move there. Sound effects were amazing on this game. The sound chip on the Neo Geo was just superb, and obviously the graphics. But yeah, the actual games on the cartridges, there were two PCB boards in the actual cartridge shell, and one was for graphics and one was for sound, from what I understand. So that is why these games were, obviously the hardware they were running on was super powerful for the time, way ahead of its time in my opinion. But the games, yeah, the cartridges, and the ROM chips and everything that was held on it for different information and data, it made the games absolutely amazing. Is that his wife and child? Wouldn't be bringing my wife and kids to a sword fight I was taking part in, because what if I got killed? So here we've got, just briefly, you can map, sort of remap the controller settings, and so there we go, settings complete. You can save the settings. I think you've got to do this, from what I tried, on each game that you go into. You've got to change the controller settings. But it's good that you've got the option to remap them, because the initial mapping of the joystick is a little bit strange. I did play most of the games with that, but you can adjust to things, but it's good to always have the option to be able to change button mapping. So this is Fatal Fury 3, using this character, Reese Howard. He's quite overpowered, but hopefully I'll be able to win a match or two. This will probably be the final game that I try on this Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro. Really love having this controller. The fact that you can use it on other systems as well, and potentially on the Neo Geo AES. I have to get the adapters for that, the two adapters I believe. Fighting level A, brilliant. Yeah, you have to get the adapters, but it would be good to use it on that, because this joystick, because it's newer hardware, probably going to be better to use than the actual stock original arcade stick for the Neo Geo AES, which I do have. So this will be better. So I might do a test of that once I get that up and running, show you guys. I want to do some more video or some videos. I haven't done any yet of me playing games on the original Neo Geo AES console. Won that, fighting level A. Cheesed it a little bit. But yeah, I definitely recommend getting one of these sticks. If you're a fan of SNK and the Neo Geo, it's a no-brainer. It can be a little bit, it can be sort of high in price depending on where you get it from. If you can get a deal on it, definitely pick it up. It's good if you've got the Neo Geo Mini to plug into that. You can use it on the other consoles, as I've said, and you can use it as a standalone device in console mode. It's got the games on there. It's got 20 games, but you can... I will explain how you do that in another video, but you can actually unlock more games on this, and I think it's up to 40. And what they did was, on the actual official website, they actually, SNK posted the games, the extra games, on the website, so you had to wait for the date. So I believe it was every month they'd put 2 new games on there, so you just download those onto your PC or laptop, copy those over to a USB stick, plug the USB stick into the Neo GEO Arcade Stick Pro, then go into the options, and you could just then do like a system upgrade, and it just puts the games on there. It doesn't actually put them on there, they're already on the stick, but what it does is it unlocks them, so then they're able to play. There were little hacks on the internet where you could just unlock these right off the bat, so you have potentially all 40 games on there. It's such a shame that they didn't put the full library of Neo Geo games on the system, because that would have been great, but I do believe that some of it's due to licensing and things like that, which is why they didn't put all of the Neo Geo game library on the mini consoles either. But there is a hack, people have hacked it, where you can put the full library on the arcade stick. I've actually done that now. I'll cover that in another video. There's plenty of tutorials on the internet, but I'll probably just cover that anyway, just to show you guys what I've done. But you can keep that separate, so you can have the original stock games on here, so you can unlock all 40, so that's pretty much original stock what SNK wanted you to have, so you can keep that separate on boot up, and then the additional games, or the full library, you then select another option off the main menu to go into those, so you keep them separate. So I like that, so it doesn't merge them all and ruin the stock product, because I always like to keep it as untouched as possible when I get these things. But Franco Bash, but yeah, so I will cover that in another video. There are also hacks as well that put on not only the Neo Geo full library, but the CPS2 games, other arcade games, SNES games, Mega Drive games. I think it gets a little bit silly when they start doing that. I mean, this is it's up to you obviously, but this is an SNK console, so I just want to keep it SNK games. I think the last hack I put on did have the Neo Geo full library, and it also had the CPS2 games. Yeah, they're good to have, they're arcade games, but then the SNES and Mega Drive and everything else, so I keep it on there because it came with the hack, but probably won't ever play those games on here, just the CPS2 and the Neo Geo games. But would I recommend buying this Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro? Yes, if you can get it for a decent price, definitely. I think it's well worth it, it's well built, it's really sturdy product, and what you can actually do with it, you know, use it as a standalone device or connect it to consoles, the original Neo Geo AES console, it's a no-brainer. It's a good quality joystick. If you're after an arcade joystick that's got some other functions to it, definitely pick this up. Yeah, really happy with actually having this. This sits on my desk in my gaming room stroke study, and yeah, I plug this into the TV whenever I get the opportunity. I play some of these games. And that's coming from a person that's got the original hardware, the arcade machine and home console. But it's good to have different methods to play these games. Okay guys, I'm probably going to end this video soon. So yeah, hope you liked the video. I covered everything that I could. So yeah, hope to do more videos on this arcade stick in the future. Definitely do the hack ones for you guys. Right, this dude now with his hand in his pocket. He irritates me. If you like the video guys, like and please subscribe. My subscriber count is going up very, very slowly, but it is going up. I'd like to reach 150 and then 200 subscribers if I can. That would be a great achievement for me, something I never thought my channel would actually do. And if you've got any comments, leave them in the comments section below, and I always reply, so yeah, I'll reply to your comment. But yeah, cheers guys, and hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again in another video. Cheers guys, bye.